Hello and welcome to the North America Gaelic Football Podcast, the home of Gaelic football here in North America. I'm your host, Gareth McAlinden, along with our co-host, Limerick's finest, Connor Green. Before we get started, just a quick shout out to Des and his team at Masita for sponsoring the show and being the official sponsor of the USGA since 2017. As always, if your club's interested in getting involved with Masita, feel free to reach out to us directly and we'll get you directly over to the boys so they can help you with your club needs for the year. So just without further ado, Des, Stephen, welcome to the show. Thanks for taking the time to come see us. And what's the crack?
Well, it was good. Gareth, I've been very busy here at the minute. We're in the middle of a big transition, so we have a lot of work to do, but we're keeping going really good. We're very busy this year. We're all back to normal. COVID days are long behind us now.
So I guess good starting point there. Can you talk to us a little about Masita? You know, how it started, when it all kicked off, and just kind of how you have got to where you are today?
Well, my wife started Masita in 1999. We had been in another business for 20 years and probably fell into the sports business by accident, but we started selling Masita Teamwear, which was a European brand at that point, where we were basically distributing those products to sports clubs of all types: soccer, rugby, Gaelic, everything. Basically, mostly teamwear. We didn't have any production. We didn't have any possibility to produce GA jerseys at that stage, because obviously you need to do that properly. You've got to be able to produce in Ireland, and you've got to have a GA license. So around 2007, we had built up quite a big business and quite a decent business, and we had approached the GA with a view to a license to manufacture official GA teamwear. So, we found out everything we had to do that, and so we put that. We didn't just wait for the license. We got the actual system in place, and we started production. Then there was Dermot Power from the GA at that point, and a couple of guys came down and visited the factory, talked to us for a few months, and then eventually we were awarded the GA license in 2008. So since 2008, we have gradually become more and more about production of different types of products, primarily to the GA market, but also to soccer, rugby, basketball, all the sports really. But the main market is GA and ladies football and camogie. Obviously, being Ireland, that's the key market really. It's the leading market. So we put nearly all our emphasis on that, although we're always developing the other sports as well. And since 2008, we've been developing quite a bit actually. Constantly updating the styles, designs, patterns, materials, constantly updating those things to keep it up with the current trends, or keep trying to improve our product. So we've built up quite a lot of very regular, very good repeat customers, and built up a lot of repeat business over the years, and we're always getting new customers every day. We've built up at this stage, I think we've got 35 employees. Almost all our product is made here in Kells. We find that's the only way to control the quality, the avoid mistakes, things like that. We at first we thought that'd be the hard part, but now we wouldn't switch that back, because I think what we do, we're constantly doing it better. We can't expect somebody else to do that for us. So the only way we know we can get the product right is to do it ourselves.
Jerseys have definitely changed throughout the years anyway. So I remember when I was under 8s, under 10s, and you had the thick cotton jerseys with the collar, and if it was a rainy day, oh Jesus, the thing would be just absolutely sticking to you. What is that requirements for meeting the GA standards?
Well, the first requirement is that you must be able to make the gear that is worn on the field of play in Ireland. Seems to be the hardest part, and it's probably the biggest step up at the start, but what that does means we can firstly control the product, improve the product, change the fabrics, do what we want, improve the pattern on a constant basis. But secondly, we can turn that around quickly if somebody needs it. We regularly have a call at the last minute from somebody who's in a final. We need stuff for next week. Can we do it? We can do it. It's something that more and more with the modern game, and the way fixtures come up quickly and things change and sponsors come in at the last minute, that's kind of a necessity. That gives us the power to do that, and that keeps our customers more than happy. That's the main requirement, but you must also be able to make the product with high quality raw materials. Obviously, good quality inks, good quality fabrics. Everything we use here must make ethical sense as well, and there's actually a new ethical program in conjunction with GA we're joining that is even putting more emphasis on those ethics.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that that manufacturing process, like the printing, like kind of almost how that jersey is put to place, and you guys do it in-house in the factory, right?
Well, we've currently 4 designers who will be not only designing jerseys, they'll be designing promotional graphics, creating new designs, coming up with new ideas for our design for the future. But also, when a customer makes an inquiry, the first thing they get back is a rough plan of how their jersey is going to look. Then they can make changes. Our guys make the changes for them. When they finally agree that, what we do here is we have a policy where we make the first sample approval garment. Those garments, if you've approved the jersey, we'll make what we call the number 2. It's the approval garment. It's the first jersey in the set, in the size that you require. In Ireland, we send them directly to the customer that day. So the customer can try it on the players, make sure the fit is right, all the detail is right, and then say, right, the next day, go ahead. So we know there's not going to be any mistakes. That eliminates the possibility of mistakes. The customer sees what he's getting before he actually gets the final order. For America, we also make that product, but we use photographs. So we make the shirt, photograph it on somebody, send it to the customer in America, and he, approves it from there. Obviously, it would delay things too much to send that garment to America and cost too much to send that one garment. But it means it gives us a great feeling of security that we know this order is not going to be wrong. That the colours are right, what the customer wanted, everything's the way he wanted it to be. There will be sometimes when you get a number 2, we call it a sample garment. There will be times when you do notice, I should have added something, or I need to add, I need a different size. So that allows for that fix to be made before the actual final set is produced. That's probably one of the key factors. It's one of our unique. I think we're probably the only company doing that, and it's kind of one of our USPs. The fabrics that we use, we have a very rigorous testing done on them before we start to buy that particular fabric, and we know that it has passed all the credentials to be a worthwhile, reliable, hard-wearing, relatively whatever level it needs to be at, whether it's for a garment like a jacket, or whether it's for a t-shirt, or whether it's for a short. To make sure that it's right, we get all the testing done, make samples here, test them out with some people, and before we switch, we continue to use fabrics as long as they suit the marketplace. For example, shorts have moved over to be a fully sublimation. Everything in shorts do. That's why you see a lot of the designs carry the colours right the way around the shorts. So shorts have become a fully sublimated product, and we've brought in a very good material to suit that. And we've been selling that for the last 2 years. At this stage, almost 100% of our GA shorts are made by full sublimation. The fit of jerseys is very key to the player. A lot of teams want player fit, a lot of teams want regular fit. But even when you make regular fit, it still has to look neat and tidy and look, the right arm length, the right body length. Everything needs to sit well on the player for your garment to look as good as it can. Sewing techniques need to make sure that there's not going to be any problems with jerseys ripping and things like that on the product, the quality of the fabric itself. So there's a lot to getting your product right. The other thing is the colours. Now, the colours, we've got quite good colours. We're happy with our colours, but we're stepping up now to new heat pressing techniques that will give us slightly more vibrant colours. They'll embed that ink deeper into the fabric, and that will also, we've moved in some new printers that will give us a lot more possibilities with neon colours. Highlights of neon, through neon, not a version of neon, through neon colours on the products where we need to do it. It's really all about choice when it comes to GA clubs, because I suppose the jersey or the designs are nearly always on GA traditionally is all about colour. Nowadays people want that colour to pop. They want to see it, the style to work with the colours, and that's what our designers do.
So you have a bunch of people out in America, especially Americans. They probably don't realise the difference between the regular fit and the player fit. My days of player fit is long gone.
The usual recommendation is if you pass 26, 27, it's time for regular fit. I say, but maybe I'm wrong. The way lads are staying in the gym nowadays, they can probably wear player fit till they're 33, 34. But certainly at my age, I don't know how I would look at a player fit, put it that way, no matter what I done. But player fit with the younger guys is really where they want to be.
We had one of the lads from the McInnespies in Boston on. He was like, listen, pretty much told at the start of the year, if you don't fit into the jersey, you're not playing.
That's a good test.
So, and that's almost like the rule, because you know what? And it's almost motivation as well. You don't want to be that one person in the team photo that just looks, everybody else is in place and you're just taking that. You're like the 10-pound sausage in a 5-pound casing. Yeah. So
but some of these young under 14s, under 16s, young lads that are nearly at county level at those ages, the very young underage county players. Some of them young guys are wearing small and medium player fit. They're so well built now. They're so, the bodies have developed so much. And they look like perfect in them. So, I think more or less most players nowadays know what their style is. I suppose I would call it 50-50, player fit and regular fit. But then we also have ladies fit now for the LGFA and Camogie. Most ladies county teams will wear ladies fit. Some club teams will wear ladies fit. Depends on the choice of the manager really and the player. Ladies fit is becoming as important as player fit now. It's a slightly more tapered fit, and the arm is not as in a ladies' jersey. The arm wouldn't be as wide. The armhole wouldn't be as wide. It's more of a capped arm. It's called, I think. So we have to constantly look at those things to make sure the jerseys are looking as well as we possibly can have them looking on the pitch and on the streets, which is probably where most jerseys are really worn, is out and around. Apart from on the pitch. More kids wear jerseys now as a leisure garment.
Even like years ago, you just have your own, you just have your Limerick jersey or wherever your club jersey. But there's really been an uprising there in the last 10 years or so, I would say, of fellas wanted to buy whatever random jersey. Like myself and Gareth have talked about a few times. What's that one that the boys had at Buckfast as the sponsor, right?
One of the universities had Buckfast.
Yeah, as a sponsor.
Even the Viking jersey you have.
Yeah.
How many people in the street has probably stopped you with that jersey? It's like, Jesus Christ, what's that? That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, I'd be in the gym and I'd be wearing, our Worcester Fenians shirt, and it's like, Jesus, what's that? I've never seen anything like that before. Maybe it's more of an Irish thing as well, but over here, it definitely catches the eye with people because it is unique. It's different. A lot of them think it's soccer because they probably never heard of Gaelic football.
No, yeah.
But they are eye-catching, and they're really nicely fitted, and obviously the quality is there as well. So
the Viking Gales are a bit of a legend, really. John from Viking Gales, we first spoke to him a good few years ago now, maybe 6-7 years ago now. My son Declan is the designer, so he really seen the possibility with the Vikings and the GA and hurling. So he done a really nice concept of the very first shirt. We put it online. The guys wanted to be able to buy it over in Scandinavia, so they asked us to put it up on their online shop, and we did so. And then suddenly there was a tweet, I think it was a tweet from Joe Brawley about this. Firstly, the fact that there's a hurling team where it was, and secondly, the jersey was, and then it just took off. But we've done so many different twists on the Viking Gales shirt since. Because it's an open, it's very, the club name, the colours you can use, you can make a really nice traditional, using Celtic knots, using the imagery, you can keep going with it, so a huge success for us. But I think people are always asking, people from everywhere buy the Viking Gales jersey.
I think those Irish
would that be your
associated with stuff with drink as well? The other jersey was, you were saying, with Buckfast, we had the one with Jemison on the front for Kansas City. And it just absolutely
that was huge.
Took off like wildfire. And I think we had it out before, I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks before Paddy's Day. So every Irish American person just literally thought straight away, have to get that. It was green and white as well, so the colours just absolutely perfect as well for the time with Jameson on the front of it. It was just swept up, so it was. So the collector's items at that stage.
Would those be your 2 highest selling jerseys?
Probably, yeah. I never really checked that, but Mead Ladies is a huge selling jersey. With the key pack, with the history with key pack and Mead, but the Mead following as well and the success they've had. Mead Ladies, and there's probably 3 or 4 more there as well. I couldn't really say they were the top, but they were sort of up there with them anyway. And I think it's different strokes, different books. It's just really different styles or jerseys appeal to different types of different ends of the market. And you suddenly see a success in a completely different field that you didn't even realize would be as successful. It's not always the one you think is going to be the biggest one.
There's definitely an appeal to some of these clubs there, some of these foreign clubs. Like it's amazing really how many GA clubs are around the world these days. You've got all out in Asia and all that. I know a few fellas that have some random Asian GA, like Saigon Gales and a few like that.
It's hard to believe and at this stage I'm probably wondering, is there anyone that there is no GA? I think I've heard of GA teams in every country in the world at this stage.
They're also a bit more open to kind of design. If you ever noticed the jerseys for overseas, there's always that kind of expansion of design, or there might be something of the area that it's from.
Yeah.
Compared to kind of Irish jerseys, they're a bit more club tradition, kind of you're just black and white hooped or that kind of stuff. Where overseas they're kind of a bit more open to design, and the jerseys are far more kind of flamboyant and a bit more out there as well at the time. So
I like the American jerseys best, because when you take a city in America or an area in America, like this year, we've got a few beautiful jerseys for the U.S. Championships in Denver. So you think of Colorado, you think of the Rockies, you think of everything. That gives a great theme for a shirt. And I've seen this year's shirts, and they look really special now. I think they're really cool. So, some of the, but when you take a little bit of the American history or psyche or connection to Ireland, you can make some amazing jerseys from that.
Can you talk a bit about how did you first go about getting involved with the USGA? You're obviously the main sponsor since 2017. Am I right in saying that?
I think the first contact was with I think most of you have known Liam Hegarty. Lord mercy on him. Liam was actually from the town here where we're from. His parents just live across the road from me, and I would have known Liam over the years, just to say hello to him when he came home. I had asked him, I'd made an approach, I knew that he was involved with USGA, and I made an approach, look, is there anyone who could have a chat with the guys in USGA? So I think he might have had a chat to somebody over there at the time, and they called me, and we began to get talking, and gradually we come up with a plan that we thought might be something that would work for both of us. There was a couple of key things that we would visit. We would visit the championships every year with merchandise, and market as much as possible, really put an emphasis on USGA. There are a lot of other criteria. Apart from the deal that we made in the end, I think it was a partnership that suited both people, and that we would both, work well with each other. And in the early days, we worked a lot with Liam. Absolutely amazing fella. He'd done everything he could for us. If he wanted it, we would do it for you. That was the initial stages of the partnership, and it was a big shock then when we heard what happened to Liam. It was really sad. Declan was over at the funeral, and he got to meet a lot of the other, the other guys on the committee at that stage, face to face. And since then, we've moved on with a lot of some great characters. Really, all the lads that have been involved in the committee over the years have been really easy guys to deal with. It's never a problem to ask a question. I have to say the lads in general in USGA are as easy a bunch of guys as I would have ever dealt with. It's all very, it's business-like, but it's casual, and you cut to the chase. You don't talk for 10 minutes or half an hour about something. You make a decision within a minute based on, what's needed. Something needs to be different, then we make it different. If we think we need a bit of help somewhere, they'll find the help for us. So, they're a great association to work with. And we're hoping that, we've expanded our relationship with them now for another 2-3 years, as far as I know. I think there's another couple of years in the agreement, and we'd be more than happy to go again thereafter, you know what I mean? Because the way things are going at the minute, it's a great, association.
So will you be making the trip out to Denver this year, lads?
Yeah, I don't know exactly who's going yet, but there'll be at least 2, maybe 3 of the lads going over this year.
Bring the whole 35 of you on, I'd say. We'll all drink a few beers up in the mountains there.
There's been certainly a lot more guys want to go to Colorado this year than there would be in other years. There's certainly a lot of guys saying that would be an amazing holiday to tie in with a few days away. So Yeah, it's a very attractive place, and the lads have been speaking to the lads in Colorado. They're a great bunch of lads there too. We're quick in a bit of a joke when we're talking about the team. I can mention
Freddie.
the dog is here beside me, right? Just to throw a bit of lightheartedness in it.
Oh, yeah.
Key
I,
Where's his fucking Worcester Fenian shirt?
Should have had a jersey on.
Jersey on.
Should have a jersey. Really, should have been a brilliant idea. Club jersey for your dog. Might be a bad idea, actually, Steve.
I just started a new job there a few weeks ago, and we've a dog friendly office there as well. So big fan of it. No, it's good old crack, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you. Some people maybe that sometimes when people come in to the office or for a meeting, or I won't even think about them. But I suppose sometimes they walk in and they get a bit of a shock when they see him laying in the room. You know what I mean? A few guys have it really thought this is something weirdly strange. And I just said, look, he's been coming here every day since he was a pup, and I'm not going to leave him at home now. We can't go to the shops nearly unless we bring this fella here with him. You know what I mean? He's 14 now, Edmund 14. So he knows all the stores. He knows everybody. He moves around during the day, moves around meeting the different people every day.
So obviously, since 2017, you guys have been working with the USGA, and obviously it's been a very successful relationship there between clubs here in the US and home. How important has that relationship been for Masita's growth? How do you see that relationship developing over the next few years?
It's huge now, to be honest, which to kind of it's great to get to know, especially after going to a couple of the North American Championships, get to know people over there. There's people that just love home. They just want to actually talk to you about home and all that kind of stuff. So kind of link with people over there and us here is brilliant. They really love get on with them, and they have to crack with them. You get to talk about places where they came from and all that kind of stuff. And when they get to know you, they keep coming back to So it's hugely important to have that tie in. Plus, it's brilliant to have clubs in America, so it is to kind of see the exposure that American teams kind of get as well. The amount of people that are heading over there, the amount of players that are in America, hugely important to have for us here and see this.
We just want to keep expanding it. We want to try. We want to talk to as many US clubs as possible. At the moment, I don't know exactly how many clubs we do, but I think we do have a large proportion of the clubs over there. We deal with or have dealt with or deal with occasionally in some form or another, whether it's the ladies' side or the men's side or whatever side it is. But we want more and more contact with the American clubs, and we're trying to find ways that we can service America better, to develop our relationship with America better and better. Instrumental things that has happened at the company in the last 10 years, the sponsorship of the USGA. From two fronts. From the front that the build-up of the relationships, the salesmen know the American contacts really well now. They build up a lot of friends there. They get to know them and chat to them a lot. I think the salesmen really love that, and the lads here. They love talking to the guys. But secondly, for the Irish people here, they love to come in and buy an American club shirt. A lot of them do. It's very popular, and I think it creates more awareness of the USGA over here in Ireland. It lets a lot of people know how many. It's a good way of letting people in Ireland know how much GA is really going on in America. And when the American teams come home to fail now, I see them winning a lot of their games. I see them winning their divisions, and that shows that the progress there has been with the quality of the football in America. Then you have the lads that want to go out there in the summer and play for their transition year. And I think the more knowledge there is of the American clubs over here, the better it is for America, and the same vice versa. To know that the Irish guys are interested in what's going on over there, because it's a great thing for Ireland to know that the game has been played on a great level over there at the serious levels. The championships are a great showpiece of that. We're even thinking of going over this year to take some footage ourselves to send back here live. What it's really like to be over there playing in those championships or watching those championships, because they are a great occasion. The championships.
What would you say are some of the challenges now in dealing with so many American clubs and all that?
The biggest challenge is the shipping cost. Since COVID, to me, the rates are still too high. We could send a 20 kg box. The maximum they'll allow you to send now is 10 kg since COVID. That has never gone back. So the little things like that, but I think the Americans, know how to get around these, and they just do whatever it is to get past that. And we always do. get it out there on time, get it out fast. We're always very aware of any American orders need to be ready ASAP to give us as much spare time as possible to get it out there. But I think we work really well with all the clubs. Nobody's ever late. We've never let anyone down over there on time frames. It's always dispatched on time because we have a great system here that we can constantly monitor orders to make sure that nothing sort of falls through the loop and a dispatch date is missed. We're very focused on getting dispatch dates right. Dispatch dates are always agreed on confirmation of order, and we always get it out the door on that date. You'll always come across small hitches along the way, but we do our best to be on top of that.
Would it be easier for people? So if people were ordering off the website, is it almost easier to order in bulk or single shipment? Is it easier for, hey, listen, we're putting in a group order. If anybody wants anything, let's go through the club. Is that easier for you?
Yeah, it is. And it's usually cheaper, and it is cheaper if they come in with a bulk order rather than individually buy them. But we are looking at a new, actually it's nearly ready, a new system where the club will be able to do individual orders, but we can treat it as a bulk and price it as a bulk. That's something we're looking at in the future. Hopefully by the end of this year, we'll have that up and running. Kind of open a shop for a week or two for all the club members to make their order, and then they will get club rates, and then we'll dispatch directly to the club rather than dispatch to the individual addresses. That's something we're working hard on at the minute here.
Yeah, I've seen a few clubs, but my own club back home did that there with the smaller, newer brand. I think Kobe they're called.
It makes sense in America, but our own club shops, they make much more sense because you buy for 365 days a year. You can make an order and it's out to you within a week to 10 days. You can have what you want, personalized as you want, whatever way you want it. You can have one or two items, whatever way you want. It's a proper shop where you can shop when you want. Let it be Christmas Eve or let it be Patrick's Day. You can order with confidence just for yourself, and you'll know that they have it on that day. We find that most clubs prefer what we call a proper full club shop. And indeed, whereas we, at one stage, we wouldn't have been openly looking at increasing the club shops by a lot. We are open now to offer more American club shops. We've increased our number of designers, and it's possible to do a few more. As quick as we can do them, we put the American shops up. As long as they're a club that are buying the product from us or dealing with us, we'll put a shop up for them. You know what I mean? We can't put product up along with somebody else, naturally. It has to be our product. But we are open to looking at more American shops as we go forward into 23.
Do you have any projects you're working on currently? We've obviously got the Nationals coming up. I think you've got a jersey ready to go for that. Am I right in saying that?
This is just one of the designs that we're doing for the Denver Championships. So we're in the moment of designing a few more and kind of getting production started. But this is going to be one of the first ones that we have. So you can see that the USGA logo on it, and obviously the Denver USGA Finals 2023 is on the front of it. Crest plus the finals on front. You have the Denver kind of the Rocky Mountains design on the bottom, and then that's the back of it then what we have. So that's going to be one of the jerseys that we're going to have on sale at the time, and we're kind of making all the rest of the designs at the moment.
We've got about 5 designs, I think, confirmed. Obviously different colorways, different looks in every one of them, and we're probably going to add a few more, and some new zip tops and some other products. We're hoping that a lot more product in Denver than we did in Chicago last year. But Chicago was our first year over there since COVID, so we're expecting Denver to be. We sold out after the first day.
Yeah, we sold out on by the Saturday morning in Chicago. It was a record number of teams. I think it was at the national finals. So probably because of the first one after kind of COVID for us. But I think they're nearly expecting the same number of teams again down in Denver. So we'll bring in more gear with us. They'll have more sleeveless, more quarters, more jerseys.
I remember with Chicago last year, there was some beautiful jerseys, and even like the tank tops, they sold so fast. I went back on like the Saturday, and pretty much the whole shop was done. We have some of the American lads, and even we have one guy from England who actually plays in our team, and he's still, every time he shows up, we play soccer on a Tuesday night. he's always wearing the jersey and the zip up. You know, they love it over here. Even like some of the American kids that's on our team, they love buying the gear. But I guess a follow-up question to that, are you guys going to do a pre-sale for that before the tournament?
I think we thought about it. I think if the demand was there to do that, that might be a good idea. Like, for example, our zip tops this year have changed. We come with a kind of a new style neck. Have you noticed that style? Just zip it up there too. The colours are all very different nowadays. It's a new look. So we're trying to come up with some nice designs and quarter zips that will, there's one here. Stuff like this sort of thing, but using more neon colours. We're looking at what's the best thing to do with the leisure wear as well as the shirts this year. How many to bring, how many styles to offer. Shorts, GA shorts. We're going to bring a lot more of those this year as well. And the sleeveless, we find it's very popular out there. Of course, with the weather you get, it makes a lot more sense. Than you don't get many days for sleeveless in Ireland in a year, you know. But
now, Des, is that was that a USGA finals zip up?
No, that was a Carlow Club called Philly. That's just one that they've had recently. But that concept with some neon pops on different fabrics. We're also looking at the arm fabrics now we're using here. This one here is a new, really nice textured arm. So a mixture of things in their half set to make them a lot more comfortable outdoor leisure wear, you know, for the warm weather. So we're looking at more of that sort of product.
The gear will also be on sale after the actual tournament then. So if anybody does miss out and get them in Denver, they're always on our website then afterwards. You can buy them afterwards.
And a pre-sale this year is quite a possibility. We're looking at what's the best way to do that.
Yeah, there'll definitely be a demand for that jersey. We had Bernie on in our first episode, and they kind of told us how the scheduling works. So it's usually, so you have your 4 big cities. So you have Boston, Chicago, Philadelphia, San Francisco. Then every 5th year, there's a different city. This year, the 5th city is Denver. So it's a unique city. You know, you might not have it in Denver now for, I think the last time they had it was like in the early 2000s.
Yes, I think Bernie was telling me it's almost over 20 years ago since they, just talking to Bernie the other night, he was telling me that it's over 20 years since the championship's been in Denver, where it is, the beautiful country that it is. So I think that's something that a lot of people would look forward to go to, you know, something different.
Last year they said it was the most people ever traveled to the Nationals.
Yeah.
That might get broken again. Like, people are, I want to go to Denver. Like, this is going to be incredible. We had Tom Walsh and Mike Schaefer. Yeah,
Michael Schaefer.
He's with the regulators in that division, and he was saying there's a website up that they'll have pictures of where the location will be. On the background is just the Rockies. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. So as far as a setting, and they've got huge fields out there, so everybody's, you know, every game is going to be pretty much watchable. You're going to be able to see from the whole complex. So that's going to be a very exciting one. I mean, Chicago will definitely be hard to top. It was a lot of fun. Wait, Stephen, were you there for the Sunday?
I was there for the Sunday, yeah, after the finals there. The Sunday they made a great job out the back of the bar with the extension, the roof outside. It was electric, so it wasn't fairness.
Jesus, sure, I saw you up. You had the top off up on the
I was on the
back. Des, I'm telling you, you might want to think twice about sending that lad out. Hey, he was.
I done my work done by that stage, Garrett. So I was good to go.
But funny enough, last year, my niece Shauna, who Shauna would be Phelan's daughter. My brother Phelan, who was one of the main salesmen. Phelan was my brother, and he lives in Longford. His daughter was over. Actually, she was over playing for John Young in the Banshees last year. She had a great summer, and Stevie needed a little bit of help, and she was over at the championship playing in the championships for the Pittsburgh Banshees. So we said to Sean, look, give us a hand whenever you're free, and she would help Stevie for a few days. And it was great, you know. She had an amazing experience. It's something she'll never forget. So it was great that she was there on the shop as well. Her dad, obviously, as our main salesman, you know, I think she just loved hearing people telling her that they knew her dad home, and you know, it was just a nice, great experience. There were lovely people there. It was the whole thing was excellent, I think.
You heard the news that there's going to be a a USGA junior team. How much have you heard about that, lads? And have you started on designing?
The lads have been in touch with us, and we're looking at what we can do there at the minute. We're looking at some new designs. It's a great opportunity for us to do something special for it. We're looking at how good we can do that. And I can't really say too much yet, but it looks like something that could be very special.
Yeah, that'll be a great experience for some of the American kids.
It's great to see the association being. I think it deserves to be represented with a team, because of all the work that goes into the whole championship. It's a great bunch, and I think that they'll represent us very well.
Yeah, it's great to see. You can see the improvement over the last couple of years, especially in the USGA. Even the number of players now that can go out unsanctioned, the number of homegrown players that are in each team is it's rising every single year. So it's only just a natural progression that they progress onto a county team and strive to get even better and get the quality and standard of football up over there. It's a great move, I think.
So you've had some involvement with the colleges in the schools finals. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, so this year was actually our 10th year sponsoring the Masita All-Ireland Post-Primary Colleges finals. We had Summerhead College playing Oma CBS in the football this year. And then we had presentation at Murray Galway. We were playing St. Kieran's and Kilkenny in the two finals that was on in Croke Park. Draw was on Paddy's Day. So it does be great excitement in fairness for teams who are involved. Young lads getting to Croke Park, 17 years of age. It does be a huge honour for them all. Plus, it's a great stepping stone. If you look back over the last couple of years, there's been some incredible footballers. David Clifford, Conor Glass, and Darren Moynihan from Kerry as well. Even in the hurling, there's been Adrian Mullen and so on. There's been some fantastic footballing hurlers coming up, and it's always like a day of display of just, it's an all-out. There's no, when you go to kind of games nowadays, kind of county, might be a bit expensive and all that kind of stuff. It's literally with the colleges, it's just all-out football for the day or all-out hurling, and there's been some fantastic displays now going on in the game. So it does be brilliant for us to sponsor it, for closest up and coming footballers for the next 10, 20 years. It's an honour to sponsor it.
And just to add on to that as well, a big programme in Ireland as well would be the Cool Camps. You are very involved with that as well, lads, right?
Well, yeah, the Cool Camps is a tender that comes up every year. But I think for the last 11 years more, we've done at least half of the kit, as in the jersey and the half stuff. So at least half of that every year. But we've seen it growing from, I think, maybe 60, 70,000 at the start, and up to it's about 150,000 kids this year. That's not just in Ireland. It's obviously American Cool Camps. It's English Cool Camps. There's Cool Camps all over the world. But it's an amazing. It's the best football camps or sports camps that I've ever heard of. And that's partly down to the organisation from GA, really, the way they promoted it, the way they controlled it, the way that the camps are ran. The problem is now trying to get their kid booked before the camp is sold out. Obviously there's a limit on how many kids per camp. From an organisational point of view, we put a lot of effort into. Every year we pitch for the design as well. We don't always win the design. We've designed quite a few of the designs over the years. And actually currently we're looking at design for the 2024 Cool Camps. But I think the last container of Cool Camps will be delivered now in about 2 weeks for the 2023. And I think they're going to begin dispatching the 23 Cool Camps as early as next week. It's an amazing organisation, and it's great to be associated with it. And it's, there's an amazing amount of, Cool Camps gear worn on the streets every day. You could meet a kid walking down the street to school wearing Cool Camps from 6-7 years ago, apart from just this year. So there's always, it's like nearly a uniform that symbolises, GA for the kids. One of the best projects that we've ever been involved with. We've learned an awful lot out of it, and it has helped us to, make us a better company as well as everything else. But, there's a lot involved in doing it, getting it right, making sure you get it right. But touch wood, we've got it right every year so far, and we hope for this year and the years that we pitch it in the future will be the same. But it's an amazing partnership, yeah.
I just thought of a funny story there randomly. I remember a young fella I went to school with. I'd say we were probably 16 or something at the time, probably the biggest young fella rugby player in the school. Went up and got served at a bar, like age 16 or something, and forgot completely he was wearing a Cool Camps jersey. Like he was with a Cool Camp jersey. It's funny enough.
I'm assuming he didn't get served, right?
He did, yeah. No, we're like he's the only man to get served in a Cool Camp jersey.
What's the name of the bar?
Any other projects you're working on?
Yeah, another good partnership we've had over the last couple of years has been a great partnership for us was the Lidl campaign with the LGFA. Since the start, we've worked closely with Lidl for anything they needed for that. And I think one of the big things that a lot of people mightn't even know is Lidl regularly do promotions that will allow them to donate sets of jerseys to either ladies' clubs. I think actually now there's been over 1,000 teams, let that be school teams or club teams. There's over 1,000 teams in Ireland who have complimentary sets of Lidl jerseys made by Masita. We communicate with the school to make sure they get exactly what they want. The school gets exactly what they want, and their colours, their designs, their crests, and everything else except the Lidl logo goes on the front. Top quality gear, and they. A lot of ladies' teams have sort of benefited from it. If you look at the pictures of finals in any year, it's Lidl kits almost everywhere, It's a great contribution from Lidl that they, apart from the normal sponsorship that they do this aside from that sponsorship, really to put something back into the sport, and it's great to be involved in it. And they're a great bunch of lads to work with as well.
So just on top of the Lidl campaign, we also do the official GA referees gear. So it's tendered every 4 years. We've done it for the last 8 years, and we'll have to win it there this year just for the next 4 years again. So that's for doing the official GA referee jersey, the shorts, the socks, and we also had the half set, kit bag, and also a soft set jacket and so on. So literally all that was supplied to, I think it was 200 referees that are on the national panel. So each of them all got a full bag with all the gear inside it. And all the official GA referees gear is all available online. So we supply that to anybody every single day of the week. So if any fella needs to get the jersey, there's 3 different types of jerseys. So there's a red one, blue one, and a black one. So if any of the lads need to get that, so they're not clashing with opposite teams, shorts, socks, half zips, soft set jackets, kit bag, skinny bottoms, and so on. So all that's available on our website as well. It's a great partnership to have. As you said, without referees, I suppose we don't have a games to play. So they're a hugely important asset to the association.
But you'll probably see myself and Connor out there in a Masita referees gear this year, refereeing a few games. Myself and Connor got the referee certification at the start of the year. So like trying to help out there because referees is very challenging even to get referees, especially out here.
Referees need to look good too, though. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, that's actually
it can be a sexy thing. Like I know not too many of them are like, but
well, they actually just introduced this year as well as tight fit referees jerseys. So one of them out Jason she's on.
Well, that's actually part of the deal with the USGA is that one small part of the deal is that we supply free referee jerseys over to the championships for the games. And then the USGA give them out to all the referees to wear when they're refereeing the games. A lot of the American referees that wouldn't have the gear, so they love wearing the official referees, the same as the referees that are on television every week. So we send that out every year as well.
So can you talk a bit about any promotions you might have going on? I know you've got the $900 team kit.
Yeah, we posted a few promotions to America, and to be honest with you, we've got a deal. There's a pack offer here for any. If anybody calls and say, look, can you give us a pack deal? The pack that we see isn't exactly what we want. We prefer the pack to mean leisure shorts, sleeveless, and something else. It's no problem. We can make the pack to suit the customer. We'll price it up, basically based on any of our product. Pack offers are only really suggestions. That doesn't mean you have to have what's actually on the pack. We'll do a pack for any. For any club with any range of products that they require, but we've got a kit offer there at the minute. But if you prefer a pack offer with half zips and skinnies, that's not a problem. If you prefer a pack offer with sleeveless and shorts, that's not a problem. So if they just contact us, we'll come back with a pack offer based on what their requirements are. We always have promotions. If they call us up, asking for a pack deal, we'll always offer them a promotional price. Trying to develop packs and send them up, put them online with the dollar prices. I think it's easier for America. And we're looking at ways of doing that on a more constant basis. So we're hoping to be putting more and more packs up with dollar pricing. But our packs are always, if any club has a requirement for a pack similar but different, there's no problem. They call us up, we give them a dollar rate on it. We'll always give the same pack offer. There's none of our products that are excluded from doing a pack deal with. We can do a pack deal with any of our product range.
I would say for any of the American audience, skinny pants is probably not their thing. It hasn't yet broke the American market yet. Skinny pants.
We've had a few people looking for skinnies, but
right,
the leisure shorts is a bigger thing.
The leisure shorts are the big ones, especially in the summers here. Especially in the Northeast. Most places are pretty warm.
We have a nice leisure short this year, and we have another really nice one coming for next year. But we can also make product orders as well for any of them.
Connor still rocks the Worcester Fenian skinny pants though, in the winter. So I think at least you have one person there loving it.
Okay. Yeah.
There was a short-lived, Gareth. Remember that there was about 2 days there that the dollar was gone higher than the euro by about a cent or something like that.
Yeah.
There was some luxury there for about 2 days.
I think it's around 110 at the minute. But I mean that was up as high as 122 a couple of years ago. So it's actually quite good for America still, for Americans buying. It leaves things a little cheaper.
Yeah. Can you talk a bit about the future for Masita, both in North America and internationally? Do you have any expansion plans or?
Yeah, we are looking at see if we can have a dedicated US salesman. Our two key salesmen at the minute are who deal with all the Americans is Phelan, his brother of mine, and Park Ruddy. They really know the clubs well, but I think either might be an idea we're thinking of how it could be possible to have a guy on American time dealing with American clubs. That's something it's an ambition we have for the future. But the team here basically is headed up by Stephen will be the manager of the overall factory manager. Horrick, Ruddy, as I said, and Phelan are the two key salesmen. They would be the one that would be communicating with any of the American clubs at the minute. After that, my son Declan Smith would be the main designer, working along with a team of a couple of other lads, Demo and Greg. They'd be the main, staff where we'd be coming in contact with the clubs over there. After that, most of the people are involved in production, planning and things like that. But they're the people who would be, mostly in contact with the American clubs. As I said, we hope to maybe expand that a bit in the future and look at ways that how we can service America better by working more on their time if possible and things like that. And dollar, having things a little bit more simplified with the dollar.
I suppose the time difference can be a challenge too, because I guess, a lot of people are either doing business in the evenings because they have their day jobs and stuff. So by the time they get home 6 and 7, it's almost 11, 12 your time. That's very challenging. So there could almost be, they're sending out emails at 7, 8 o'clock US time. Yeah. You might not get that the next morning, where it can almost it almost draws out the conversation more than it needs to be. So I suppose that's probably a big challenge, another challenge there.
Yeah, but what's surprising is was how early in the morning the American clubs will be on the phone. Some of the guys from America will be on that phone able to talk about gear. So I think you're generally getting up a lot earlier in the morning to start over there. So but I think by 12 o'clock our time, a lot of them are, making phone calls or taking phone calls, are available to take phone calls at that time, which is not bad at all. It gives us 5-6 hours a day when we can chat by phone or later on by email. It hasn't been as challenging as we thought it would have been. Obviously, the West Coast is probably a little bit more difficult. It's late in the evening here, they're really only getting up over there, or maybe there's an hour or two there, roughly. But it hasn't been as bad as we thought. I think, anyone that wants to talk to us, we'll always get to talk to them every day. And actually, our salesmen are quite flexible. Phelan or Park will always take a call. It's not a problem, really. But as I said, it would be more ideal that we have so many on American time, and it's something we're looking into to see how we can get that as a more permanent thing, especially during the season, you know.
Sure, look at this episode. Myself and Connor's up at 6 o'clock in the morning to do a episode with the lads at home. It's bright out here before 6 o'clock, you know, so.
I don't think you were used to getting up at 6 in the morning and the Armagh Road in Newry, Gareth, were you?
I tell you what, I went home the first time, so I came here in 2011, and 2016 was the first time I was home, and it was around Christmas time. Actually, no, it was 2016 I went home in the summer. The year after I went home in the winter, and we flew in, and it was 8 o'clock in the morning, and I forgot how dark it is at 8 o'clock in the morning at home in the winter. I almost just completely forgot about it. But yeah, no, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, especially in the summers where it's up. And, you know, even like there's school buses going past at 7:15 in the morning. Jeez, you wouldn't get that in Newry, hey?
No, you wouldn't. It'd be a dead town at 7:15 in the morning. Well, it wasn't my day. We're both from the same town. We're both from Newry. So, like, we'd understand what the I think I used to be getting up at about 8:15 to be at school at 9. But that's not the way in America, I don't think.
No, definitely not. So just to kind of start wrapping up, so if teams are looking to get involved, what's the best way for them to contact you?
Yeah, there's numerous ways. They can call either the lads. Some of them probably already have their mobile number, Pork or Phelan, and give them a shout. If not, kind of the main number will be 00353 4692 41595. That'll be the main call, or they can literally email sales@masita.ie. Will be done. Now we also have obviously all the social media websites. We have Masita Ireland for Facebook. Then our Instagram is Masita_sportswear_Ireland. And they can contact either on that. We'll always have a way to put the salesman onto them from that. But really probably email or phone number probably the easiest way to get in contact.
It's very much company policy that we get back to everybody. We try to get back to them. If we don't get an answer, we leave a message or send a message to let them know we've been back. That's what the instructions are. You know, that's what our policy is.
So, Connor, before you wrap us up, I just personally want to thank the lads out at Masita for their support of the show. You know, obviously, you are doing a lot for the GAA community here in the US. So we appreciate your support for the USGA, for the podcast, and for the clubs. We're very excited to see how that partnership continues as we grow. The GAA, ladies football, men's football, camogie, hurling is definitely on the rise here in the US and North America in general, with clubs popping up everywhere. And we wish you all the success with those clubs coming up. And again, appreciate all your support. With that being said, Connor, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah. No, I just want to say thanks to the two boys, Stephen and Des, and everyone at Masita. Thanks to all our listeners. If you enjoyed this episode, do us a favor, like, subscribe, follow, whatever you can do. We appreciate it. Leave us a comment and tell us what you think. And thanks, and we'll catch you next time.